Hello everybody and welcome back to Right Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So some new developments have been taking place over the past couple of days that have been absolutely huge because it shows what is going on in our judicial system. And we have seen over the past couple of months, Donald Trump try to enact key elements of his agenda, which, by the way, the American people voted for loud and clear across the board. Popular vote, electoral college, you name it. They threw every obstacle at the guy on the campaign trail that you could possibly fathom in an unprecedented fashion in American history, and it didn't matter. It made him stronger. He prevailed. The Overton window shifted greatly on issues like immigration in terms of, mass deportations as you had this border crisis at the border. And now you have a lot of judges who are just standing in the way of the president and trying to stop him from using potential laws that have, preceded judicial review's existence, which is not in the Constitution, by the way. We talk about the Constitution a lot, and then you see these judges, mainly these activist judges on the left, but even at times, Donald Trump's own Supreme Court appointees, what they've been doing is they've been just misusing, misinterpreting, perverting the Constitution to fit the political agenda that they have. These are the same people by and large on the left who talked about democracy and that kind of being the virtue that built America on the campaign trail and how Donald Trump was evil for it. But when the public, the democracy sides with Donald Trump, now these people are basically saying, no, that was all made up. We need to throw out democracy to preserve democracy. It's why I say democracy instead of democracy. It's more of like a mocking term at this point, the way these people say it. And now you see what's going on here because these judges are not just, trying to stop Donald Trump from doing his job, but there's like ways that these people have been behaving that is just downright absurd. And you see this here. Hannah Duggan, a Milwaukee County Circuit judge, was arrested by the FBI. So there's been a lot of talk about, is Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, what are they doing? Which I understand why, because there hasn't really been a lot on the arrest front, as we know. But it does seem as if they did something that even the doubters can point to and say, well, this is good, because this isn't the only time this week it happened. But you have a judge who is helping an illegal alien, somebody who's not a legal citizen, came into this country, evade arrest. Would Hannah Duggan enjoy a bunch of people just moving into her house in the middle of the night and then just, calling her names, racist, whatever, if she wanted to kick them out? No, but apparently when it comes to the rest of us, this is what we have to deal with. You have people that have poured into the country, mainly because of the weak action and rhetoric of the previous administration. And now Donald Trump was elected in part to clean up that mess. And then you have these, so-called activist judges going out here and are lying and misdirecting federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse. So you can see what's going on, helping an illegal alien evade arrest. And of course, you see the picture here where she's got the mask on. How fitting. These people are clowns. But it's like she's been charged, she's been arrested because she's been obstructing the law. And that's true. Judicial review, they love to talk about judicial review, and this doesn't technically kind of fit into that. But you have these justices or judges in the judicial branch that have just completely gone rogue. And this is a prime example of it, where you have them, in some cases, harboring illegal aliens, harboring a gang member. One of these judges, Juan Cano, harboring a Tren de Aragua gang member at his home, one of the people that has been obstructing Donald Trump from, being able to go out there and get these people out of the country relatively quickly. We don't know who these people are. The left wants them to stay here for as long as possible. They've finally claim that they care about things like due process for the first time in their existence when it comes down to this stuff, when it comes down to illegal aliens, more so than American citizens or people that they've politically persecuted over the past 4 years. Now they're harboring these people in their homes, and this is a problem. You are helping somebody break the law. Somebody who has broken the law should not be in this country, stay in this country, and these are the same people who are going out there and they're trying to sabotage Donald Trump, sabotage the agenda that was wildly popular that he ran on and he got elected on. It's a major, major problem. And we do really need to revisit the concept of judicial review if these people are going to keep doing this, because it's not in the Constitution. They say it's a precedence or whatever. You can look to cases where FDR and Andrew Jackson and Abraham Lincoln over the years, some presidents that a lot of people, at least, factions throughout American history, depending on what side you're on, you'll say that, some of these people are some of the greatest presidents that we've had. They were able to get their agenda passed through because they had the set of stones to stand up to rogue people and basically just enact their agenda. And we saw that. Doesn't necessarily mean that every element of, FDR's agenda that he was forcing through and trying to pack the court and threatening to pack the court with was good. But what I'm saying is he was consequential. Nobody can deny that, whether you like him, you don't like him, you like parts of him, you didn't like certain things he did, whatever. But either way, if you want to get the agenda done, you're going to have to bend the rules and bend the precedents, because this is getting absolutely out of hand. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. And then we find out more about this case where you can see that the criminal illegal alien is somebody who had a laundry list of violent criminal charges, including strangulation and suffocation, battery, domestic abuse, etc., illegally entered twice, which means he was removed once and then he came back. He should be removed again. You have somebody here who is clearly not a citizen, and also somebody who has a rap sheet that is a mile long. You could say, well, he hasn't been convicted on certain things, but it's like, if you've been charged on this many crimes and you're somebody who's here illegally, you got to get out. We got to remove you from the United States. And if you are trying to harbor these people, you have people that want to vote for, sanctuary cities in their own cities where they disobey ICE. That's a problem. You want to talk about Donald Trump and obstruction and the Constitution? Look at what these people are doing with sanctuary cities. Look at what these people are doing with harboring, in some cases in their homes, gang members and criminals. You want to say accused criminals or whatever. The bottom line is that you have somebody who shouldn't be here. If you're here illegally, you're, accused of a crime in general, you should just be deported. If you're here illegally in general, you should still just be deported. There's really nothing else to it. You break the law. If I enter your house in the middle of the night, it doesn't become my house. I don't get to live in your basement and claim it as a residence. Why should these people do that to the United States? There's no excuse for it. But you have these people on the left that have thrown out all common sense, and it's just absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd that these people would like to do it. And now you have people in the Trump administration, in the Justice Department, who have actually said, no, we're going to arrest these people if they're going to be doing this. And that's a very good thing. I think we need a lot more arrests. But I think what this does is it sets a good precedent. This is not like weaponizing the Justice Department against your political opponents who weren't doing anything or doing minuscule things. These are people who are actively going out there and doing things that if it happened in any other country, they'd say you're an enemy of said nation. If you're harboring somebody who's not a member of the U.S., broke the law to get into the U.S., and was committing crimes in the U.S., yeah, these people should not be harbored, and it's clearly for political reasons. You saw the judge lady with the mask on, you name it. Just absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. But on top of it, you have other prominent Democrats who just have completely thrown common sense out the window. They're defending, these illegal aliens and the right for these people to be in the United States without getting arrested or deported. The bottom line is you're not here legally. There's plenty of people who have entered the country through a legal process. Those people become citizens, whatever. They're not going to be removed. They're not going to be deported. These people can't even vote for you, at least not legally. But still, you have people that will make sure that they make it known that they just don't like that because it's about power. They want their new voter base. They want people to come in. It benefits their donors. It benefits their electoral power. It changes the fabric of the nation, as we know. But when you're looking at this, you have Federico Wilson, who is calling for an uprising in the streets. Now, if Donald Trump said uprising about anything, remember when he said bloodbath about the auto industry? They said he is a danger. He's calling for, a horrible thing to happen. But she's calling for basically, you could even just say, inciting riots. Donald Trump said nothing of this nature, and they still tried to charge him ahead of 1-6. When you look at this, you have Democrats that are calling for an uprising. You could say, well, she means it peacefully, but you don't get that call going the other way. Even though Donald Trump said before 1-6, protest peacefully and patriotically and respect the police and law enforcement, it didn't exactly matter. They still tried to lock him up and throw away the key. And now you have leading Democrats who are doing this, and they're able to do it with immunity. And it's absolutely disgusting that this is the way things are. This is how much Donald Trump has broken the left. We're in year 1 of term 2. We're in year 9, almost to go into year 10, since Donald Trump came into the political scene, the political arena, when he announced his run back in 2016. And these people happen to be just more insane than ever. And it's like you wonder why the approval rating of the Democrats is in the 20s. It's stuff like this. You talk about Trump's approval rating in some of these polls dropping, which a lot of them, it could be response bias. I'm not saying that he hasn't lost any points in terms of his net approval rating. I mean, typically presidents do after they take office for a few months, and Donald Trump has got nothing except a lot of negative media coverage, and then you have shaky markets and these tariffs and everything like that, and how they're affecting the markets has led to a lot of this media coverage, which obviously the media coverage was always negative, but now it's like more from an economic lens, and a lot of people are not exactly happy about it, but still his approval rating is higher right now than it was at any point in the first 3 years of his first term on RCP, whereas the Democrats are in the 20s. And Donald Trump, there's plenty of reason to believe his approval is going to go up. The Democrats, the more they act like this, I don't see it happening. They don't exactly really know how to navigate their election loss, and it possibly could lead to future election losses. We'll see. We're not to 2026 yet, but the way they've been acting is just absolutely downright absurd, and it's a good thing they're arresting some of these people because, we have a little bit of teeth now. The shoe's on the other foot. You don't want to mess around and harbor illegal alien criminals in your house or shield them from being arrested just to fit your political agenda. That might have worked the last time around. That's not going to work this time around. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.